back your homes, or restore your dead to life.
But perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our king.
What can I say about Longclaw? Well, how about the fact that the ancestral Valyrian steel sword of House Mormont has become Westeros' most talked about sword from a fan's point of view? It is because Jon Snow wields it. Wait, why does a Stark bastard, better yet a half Stark, half Targaryen, wield the Mormont family sword? Well, if you remember back when Jon was selected to be the Lord Commander's steward, Jon was pretty upset. He was by far the best swordsman in his group of recruits, and yet he was not given the honor of being a ranger. It turns out that Jeor Mormont, the Lord Commander at the time, wanted to groom Jon to one day lead the brothers at Castle Black, and boy did he misjudge that. Anyway, Jeor Mormont, home to Bear Island, passed his Valyrian steel sword to his son Jorah. Unfortunately, Jorah tried selling some poachers to slavers, which got him into quite the dilemma. It was either flee to Essos or get beheaded by the honorable Ned Stark. Jorah chose life in the east. To be fair, Jorah had a wife at the time who expected very luxurious things that cost a lot of money. Jorah, the Lord of Bear Island, since his father had left his lordship to join the Night's Watch, decided that selling poachers into slavery could help fund his wife's expensive taste. Fast forward to Jorah leaving Westeros. He had the courtesy of leaving Longclaw in Bear Island since he dishonored his family. The sword was left with Meg Mormont, Jeor's sister and Lyanna Mormont's mother. She eventually gave it back to her brother at the Wall, where he kept it secure in his possession for years. Eventually, Jon joined the Night's Watch, became Jeor's steward, and even saved him from a wight that was to be inspected by Maester Aemon. Because of all that, Jeor decided that Jon deserved Longclaw, since Jeor didn't have a rightful Mormont male to wield the sword. Originally, Longclaw featured a bear as the pommel of the sword, a bear being the sigil of House Mormont, but Jeor decided to have a Night's Watch blacksmith make a new pommel for the ancient sword that would be more fitting for Jon Snow, a direwolf. Jeor mentioned that the name for the blade, Longclaw, not only was fitting for a bear but also a wolf. And while this present seemed like it came from left field in the storyline, it actually makes a lot of sense. House Mormont has always sworn allegiance to House Stark, since the Lords of Winterfell were kings in the north, before there was ever a ruler of the Seven Kingdoms. Ice, the blade of Eddard Stark, was the ancestral Valyrian steel sword of House Stark, until Tywin melted it down and created Widow's Well and Oathkeeper. Now, Longclaw claims the title of the Stark family Valyrian steel sword. And because Jon is the king in the north, and as of now the leader of House Stark, Longclaw would be passed down through Jon's bloodline, granted if he has the chance to have a wife and children, which may not happen given the current issues in the world. Longclaw was in the Mormont family for over 500 years, making it very old and very rare. Seriously, there are only a handful of Valyrian steel weapons that are located currently in the show, and in the books that have popped up in recent events. In the Citadel, there is a book called Inventories that apparently has locations of over 200 Valyrian steel blades. However, nobody can confirm how accurate it is currently. Sometimes maesters do not get updated information, like how we see when Sam talks about the current Lord Commander of the Night's Watch to the maester when entering the Citadel. Longclaw can cut down White Walkers, which is a plus given all the involvement Jon will most likely have with the undead in the future. It helps to know, if anything, his sword won't be what fails him. Also, Longclaw is considered a bastard sword, which means it's a hand and a half sword. Basically, it's a sword that can be wielded with one hand or two hands, and it's light enough to the point that you can really swing it around in close combat. But just as it's light enough to move around, it has the right balance and the weight to behead someone. I can't wait to see Longclaw used in Season 7, and I equally cannot wait to see how many wights are shattered from its Valyrian steel properties. Let me know in the comments about your favorite sword in the Game of Thrones universe. Have a great day, take care, and I will see you tomorrow.